What the hex is going on, ladies and gentlemen?
What the hex, you guys? I don't have any material to work with. I don't know what to say. Ask us a question.
Hello, everyone.
When Bob's.
Baling baling bambu, makhluk itu bernama Ethereum.
Let's just repeat after me and let's just say, Richard Hart was right.
Do you think that all the gold is in Fort Knox?
Do I think all the gold is in Fort Knox?
Yes.
Are you a fucking conspiracy theorist?
Yes. Yes.
What are you doing?
Welcome to the Biz with Bris.
Hickory dickory dock, Black Rock sucks a big cock.
What kind of customer service is this?
This is the number 2, right? Yes. I meant to say number 3. I don't want this. And yeah, can you change that to a number 3? Matter of fact, a number 7.
Number 7? Well, that's the
oh, number 3. You pick one.
What you mean I pick one? You just ordered the fucking food.
Excuse me?
Bro, you heard what I said, bro. You about to close, bro. I ain't got time for your shit, bro.
What kind of customer service is this?
What the fuck you want? Yes or no? Is this what you want? This what you paid for? This what you about to get?
I want a number. No, I want.
What you want
I
to
want
get.
a.
This is what you paid for, so this is what you're gonna get. Here, I got your Fanta right there.
And I don't want Fanta. I want fruit punch, please.
You want fruit punch? All fucking will. You finna get what the fuck I made and what the fuck you paid for.
Oh my God, what kind of customer service is this?
What kind of customer are you?
Oh, I just want to. Well, no, I want to just give my money back.
Your money back? Lady, fuck your money. Here, get this. Get this drink. Here you go. You have a nice day.
Fucked we are.
What the heck is this?
The master has spoken. Have they just stuck me and you on here? Jeez Louise. Papa, can we do it? I guess we're gonna. If it says we're live.
I don't know.
We could have a fight. We could have a fight between old school G.I. Joe and Yoda.
All right, put your dollies away and let's talk about how they're going to be sold on eBay in like 10 minutes to keep the lights on.
This is from my sell pile. I'm accumulating. I'm accumulating shit to sell.
All right.
So, all right. Hey, there they are. Dude, let me just say real quick, publicly, it's so glad to be back on stream with Bris. My most fun days as a member of the Game Theory gang was when Bris was on with us. Always made it very fun. So
thank you.
And informative. So nice to have you on with everybody here today. So I'm going to try to be real brief. We're doing this a little flip floppy. I've got
like a Mexican flan with all the juice on the top. Yes,
exactly.
What the heck?
Real greasy. So basically, I've got some obligations. So basically, I've got to do the first part of the show instead of the end. So those of you tuning in later, rewind if you want to see the TA stuff. And then I guess it'll be for the next few weeks, maybe indefinitely. I don't know yet. But let's start off with Bitcoin, just so we can get things rolling and we don't eat up too much of the time with Bris. All right, so we're looking at the big ascending white parallel channel that's gone back for years and years with Bitcoin. I should have that zoomed out first. Yeah, so this goes way back. We got our tops back here in December of 17, our double top in 21, and then here where we bounced off a couple of times in November and it looks like January of December of 24, January of 25. We formed this nice little, looked like maybe a bull flag, this parallel channel, this yellow parallel channel here. Unfortunately, we broke down from that. And then as you can see here, we broke down literally the length of the move, like the full move, right? Boom. Like we almost got there, like on the second candle down. Made a nice little bounce up, tried to get back in the channel, capitulated, came back down. We're right now just above it, but, basically wicked right to it, so down to 80,000. So it seems like there's some strong support there. We bounced off that a lot, but we can't quite seem to find our way back into the channel above. But we are right now just below the 100 EMA. What's interesting is as I kind of shifted the fractal over. So there's this fractal from last cycle, the double tops here, bing, bing. And I was just like, well, what if we did that early and that's it? And I mean, it lines up kind of crazy and kind of not great. I don't love it, but fractals are, and fractals are woo woo. I get it. It's like TA's woo woo. This is kind of like, viewing tarot cards through a crystal ball, I like to say, because it's, it's like layers on layers of speculation. And, but it's interesting how often this kind of stuff works out. This is not an exact comparison because of the timing. But it is curious to me that it would show us basically going sideways and then a dip back down. And also what's interesting about this dip is it hit right on the midline of that. And it's at 77,000. The previous all-time high was 70. It looks like we wicked to 73 back here in March of 24. So that was right before the halvening when I made that call that we were going to have that big run up. So we did that. So I'm thinking, it could be a situation where we don't go all the way back to, 69,000, which was the all-time high from 2021, which is typically a good sign. Like if you can wick back to previous all-time highs and then go, but I don't think we're going to dip that hard. I just don't see that happening. There'd have to be some major black swan event or something for us to come all the way down here. But, it could be a situation. Could be a situation where we dip down and touch this previous high from the run up right before the halving. So, 73,000 is in play, in my opinion. If we get, some capitulation and wick down, I don't think we'll stay there. What's interesting about the fractal as well is it shows us kind of going down and sideways and then coming back to this again in April, which, we were all anticipating it'd be a 4-year cycle and we'd be rushing off to all-time highs and glory. But if the fractal plays out, it looks like we're going to get our support in April and then start to make our move up toward what was the second top in 2021. And it would run us back up to around 115,000. Now, the question is this fractal in play at all? Is it anything real? I don't know. I think that there is an argument that we are, obviously, if we're way down here, we're nowhere near doing a complete exact 4-year cycle because, we'd have to turn this thing around in the next 3 weeks and go to new all-time highs. So I just don't see that happening. So I'd say some sideways and maybe, another little washout here and then a go through the summer makes sense to me. So it could be a situation where we just don't get the breakout we're hoping for the top of this white channel until later in the summer. So, it could be, let's just say, let's stick it right on July 4th, around there. So, maybe if that's the case, I'll just take this out of play right now. And, we're looking still at an all-time high of 190K.
But we can do fireworks on July 4th.
We can still do fireworks. Hopefully we'll have reason to do fireworks. It'll be celebratory for independence and DeFi and all the good stuff if Bitcoin finally breaks this white channel that it's been stuck in for a decade. So, all right, moving right along. Let's go to HEX, the OG, the original Brisology's favorite, HEX. And so, we had some hopium here with our little blue squiggle, our Sami blue squiggle, hoping that, when we looked at this a few weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, that we might get a little move up.
How you like them head and shoulders?
Back to the test. Oh, you're out of your tree.
Peter was right on this one.
It's Head and Shoulders as a shampoo.
Head and Shoulders worked out like
if you got flakies, if you got flakes, use some head and shoulders. So, so anyhow, a little hopium there, hoping that we maybe run up to the midline and come back down and retest and go. Looks like we've rolled over and have broken down. You can see this white channel that we've laid in here. I think we did that last week, where we kind of could see like, okay, well, it could be a situation where we're just shifting and the trend is now down and we're going to work our way down this channel. And, just because this yellow vertical line is the full measured move of the breakdown, it doesn't mean we need to go there. However, if we did, and this is a full breakdown, and sometimes these take weeks to play out, and let me unlock it and move it over to where it actually broke. It'd get us precariously close to the all-time low, which was around 9 somewhere in there. So, it could be a situation where we're going to go back and test the all-time low. I'd hate to see it. I don't like it. I'm hoping that this is all kind of a bear trap situation, and we kind of come down here a little bit and work our way back up.
We are trapping bears for 3 years, man.
I'm hoping, dude. There's a lot of bears in the trap. A lot of bears in the trap. They're getting stinky. We gotta skin those bears and make some jackets to endure the rest of this fucking winter. So that's kind of where things are looking on. I'm sorry. Oh, you know what? I lied. This isn't EHEX at all. This is PHEX. Yikes. That's even scarier. So this is P. I'm sorry, guys. So this is PHEX. I had my charts.
Yeah, because EHEX is holding up just
EHEX
fine.
Is actually holding. I'm like, I started. I said that. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't think EHEX broke down. I'm sorry.
Whoa,
no.
shit.
So anyhow, this is
Toby.
PHEX, which honestly is kind of a happy coincidence that we used this first, because it's probably the shittiest looking chart of the group, to be honest. So that one, I would hate to see fucking PHEX go to its all-time low of 0.003. But it's showing that that's kind of the direction we're headed. But hopefully, as I was saying, same rules hold true for this, that, maybe we can turn ourselves around and get going back north. Let's go ahead and go backward then, and I'll pull up EHEX. Now, here we go. Oh, that's not it. Where's EHEX?
That would be awesome.
That's S&P.
That's the S&P. What the hell? What happened to my EHEX?
That's what I say every day.
Back.
Yeah. Did it maybe has it been yanked from TradingView?
Oh no.
Gatekeeping.
No.
Oh man. Yeah, Papa asked in the green room for me to do the S&P.
A shitty chart isn't gatekeeping.
Let me show you what blew up my HEX chart. So here's Papa asked me to do this, and I wasn't paying attention, rushing, and I got fucking the S&P 500 chart in here. So here's the S&P 500. Basically, if we're playing games with the parallel channels, we've worked our way along the top of this channel for a while now. I got some touches at the bottom back in October of 22, again in October of 23, bouncing off the top. We pulled down about 10%. We're right on the 100 EMA. I could see like another drop down to the bottom line here, which would coincide with the 200 EMA, around 5,200 on the S&P, which of course people would be screaming and jumping from buildings, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. If we got below that and broke out of this channel, it could be pretty scary. But if you look at it over time, S&P has pretty much been up and to the right for 16 years.
Through HEX.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be too terribly concerned about it. But yeah, I don't know how to get HEX back. HEX, baby. Yeah.
TLDR, EHEX looks like shit.
Yeah, right.
No,
doubt.
it's great.
It's not Jesus, you people and your EHEX. Jesus Christ.
Be that one. See if that's the one that brings my chart back. Nah, we're screwed. Not going to be able to do EX. I'm going to have to do it over here on Deck Screener. So we're shifting live. This is live, baby. Live television. This is how it goes.
All the way live.
All the way back.
Check Go Pulse. That's the easiest.
Yeah, I could look at Go Pulse and look at it there.
Why are we even looking at the
It's holding
Peter,
up just
humor
fine.
me. I'm a big fan.
Watch. You don't like EHEX, bro? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
T-shirt rate is higher on.
We can look at EHEX on here. Actually, we can kind of double dip because we can do EHEX and then we can do the EHEX PHEX ratio real fast if you guys want.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
that's
so
always
basically
fun.
That's the chart, right? On this, it looks like we are basically we're just skirting. I don't fuck with this one as much, obviously. It looks like we're just barely below the bottom line on
barely
breaking down.
Barely breaking down. So if we did break down, it's going to be, same pattern basically that we were talking about on PHEX, where it's going to roll over and do a breakdown. If we do that full breakdown, then you're looking at some pretty gnarly numbers on EHEX. You're looking at 0007. I remember when 007 was a thing, but 0007, if we do the full breakdown, that would be terrible. I don't think anybody wants that. I think,
Very well, it's winning some bets, I guess.
We've done really, really well holding the bottom of this channel. So for quite a while, I did see that BankX was dumping again. So that's certainly not helping things. Could you imagine selling 2 million EHEX for $5,000? Because that's basically what they did. So I don't know.
Anytime, all the time.
But yeah, so they're slowly chipping away at their ill-gotten gain bag and selling that off.
We have to shame Godwell for that. Fuck you, retard. You did a retarded thing, and you should be publicly shamed, asshole.
What's the meme from Game of Thrones? Shame, 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 right? So, all right. So let's go on over to Pulse. Looking at Pulse, similar situation. We were in this yellow ascending channel for a while. We've broken out of it. We talked about this last.
It's going to be free.
We talked.
Free PulseChain.
I tried to listen to a little bit of the stream back the other day, which I never do. I never go back and watch. And I did. And when we all talk, gentlemen, at the same time, no one hears anything. So just FYI. So if you want to interrupt me or whatever, then I will stop. So at least people can hear you throwing shade at poor Toby. All right. So thank you. All right. We can take turns. So like hold up a hand and be like, hey, asshole.
Get on with it.
So, all right, thank you. So moving up and to the right of the yellow parallel channel is what we were hoping for. It looks like we've broken out of that. There was a larger pattern in play that I think Richard's even shown, this bigger orange pattern. And we were saying, that could be the support that we're heading to if we break out of the yellow channel. And that support is around 0003. All-time low on this is this wick in the first 3 days of the launch of the chain, which is down at 0.00027. And basically that is where the next horizontal support would be. So it could be a situation where we get to the bottom of this channel, people really start to panic, and we have a quick dip down there to test the all-time low and then go.
Ain't gonna be quick.
No, probably not. So yes, that's a little, it's a little maddening. One of the things that I look at that kind of keeps me from puking my guts out is I look at how high above all-time low we are. Right before our big pump that we had with the SEC news, we were down to 5.5% above all-time lows. We went up to like 30% above all-time lows. And then now we're back down below that. So that's terrible. We've sold off the entire move and a little extra with Pulse. So, but technically we're still a little bit, just a whisper away. And I mean, what's going to make people capitulate more than new all-time lows? So not saying it's by
better
design.
Technology. We are here for the technology. It's a better chain than ETH.
Psychologically, we'll see how it goes, So there's EHEX on that. There's Pulse. We did that one. Let's go to PulseX. PulseX was one of the stronger charts in the group. So it seems like that still seems to be the case. We were well up here in the middle of this white ascending channel, working our way to the top of the orange channel. We've now come back down to where we've actually broken out of that white channel. I know that we'd played around with this one before, and instead of just the orange parallel channel, we're like, hey, could this be a big triangle? So we threw this yellow bottom line on it. So it could be a situation if this is holding true, which, we got 1, 2, 3 good hits on the bottom of that triangle, right? If that's holding true, then it could be a situation where if we break below the midline, which is around 0026, it could be a quick dip down to 0023, which is next horizontal support. You can see here where there was a peak way back in November 23. So I would look for maybe a little bounce there. If not, I would be trying to find support at 0021. If we break out of that, then essentially we're looking at the same type of situation of Pulse, which is bottom of the orange channel. And then if we break the orange channel, test all-time lows. Hate to be bearish, but I'm just reading the tea leaves, boys. Now, there could be a situation where PulseX somehow leads the charge. The buy and burn's a great narrative. People seem to like that. I think that's what's given it so much strength over the last several months comparative to the others. So if we can get back in this channel and get to the top of this white channel, top of the orange channel, and maybe we get our breakout instead of April like we were hoping, the 4-year cycle narrative with Bitcoin running, maybe it takes us until, late May to get there and finally start to break up. and that'll take us to new all-time highs. It's not considerable, but it's like 2.2 stack.
Toby?
So not great, but it's like, it's
Toby?
blue sky. Yes, sir.
I just started paying attention. Can you restart this all?
Absolutely. Okay, let's go back to Bitcoin. And let me go to the S&P and blow up my EHEX.
It's only been half an hour already, so let's start over.
Quick nap. All right, no worries. All right, so moving right along to ink, and I know that Bris doesn't like ink, but I like
Better
ink.
say something nice.
I'm a fan of ink personally. It's like I don't know what Bris has got a problem with ink for, but whatever. So so we've got
He's in the farms.
We've got the ascending, farms, dude. It's like the dust.
The farms are great, man.
Dust farming now.
Not a good time.
Dust bowl.
Dirt farmer. I went from a dirt farmer to a dust
of
farmer.
Pulschain. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Cheers. So anyhow, this one's similar to PulseX. It's like, still, even though the farms aren't farming like they were, there's really strong bonding between PulseX and ink and the liquidity pairs still. So I think that this is why this chart has been very robust, like the PulseX chart has. It's held up pretty well. As we were talking last week, we were hoping that we could stay around the 230 mark, 240. We broke down below that. Obviously, there was some psychological resistance at $2, so we bounced around there a bit. We're just a hair below that, or more than a hair. We're at $1.70. So we're working our way toward the bottom of the channel here. The bottom of the channel is going to get us to about $1.50. Pretty strong horizontal support at $1.43. That was a big bounce off point here and here. So, if we can bounce off the bottom of this channel, that's going to be better. If not, hey, let's see where the measured move takes us just for shits and gigs. What do you know? All-time low. So it's really, typically I like confluence when things line up and point to multiple things point to the same area. I don't love this, but it basically would take us all the way back down to around 42 cents.
Toby, it's just a retest, okay?
Just a retest.
Just a retest.
Exploring new all-time lows.
There's nothing wrong with being poor.
Right.
It's
now
just a retest.
I'm not
relaxed.
You don't have to pay your taxes on the because no gains were made.
Yeah, do your tax harvest now. Yeah, so it's like, for me, it's like not to be a complete hope tard and go against what the charts are showing me right now. It's like, Eric Crown famously says the trend is your friend. And unfortunately the trend is down. So it's like, to bet against the trend is usually a losing proposition. So it's, people are going to be very, very cautious, especially those paying attention to TA, because they're going to look for support before they start to come back in. So if we get strong support at around the $1.50 level, then we could see some buying pressure and work our way back up. And then maybe with some good news, maybe the tariff scares go away. It looks like Canada's coming to the table. It looks like Europe's coming to the table. It's, Trump doing Trump, right? It's the art of the deal. The media runs with it. Fear monger, markets react, and we're where we're at, right? And plus, it's like, I don't know about you guys, but I think mainstream media isn't a big fan of Trump. So anything he does, let me finish. Even with Doge and with the tariff stuff, all of it, they're going to spin it in a negative light. People are going to react to that, and people are going to be uncertain, right? So hopefully this all starts to fall in the right direction, and it's undeniable that these things are successful maneuvers. And then that translates to TradFi and crypto having a nice rally, maybe late summer would be my gut. Go ahead, Peter.
Toby, if you had the power to tank markets, wouldn't you use it?
If I was able to do it in such a way that would allow me to refinance over $1 trillion in debt at a much lower rate, maybe.
Well,
crazy like a fox.
Maybe.
Crazier shit has happened.
Maybe. But think about it. But that's, people that aren't smart enough to figure out that might be what's going on are going to panic sell in these areas. It's like people that sold at the bottom of the crash in 2008. I know people that did that. Like totally freaked out in the housing collapse. And then dude, it was the biggest V recovery, I think in the history of the Dow.
It's time to buy. Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, it's like I would be dollar cost averaging down through this. I'd just be cautious to not, ape in your whole dry powder stack for those of us that have any left.
It's a tariff scare, not a tariff war. Okay.
Right.
Scare.
Yep. It's a war on tariff.
Key word there.
On tariffism. Yeah, exactly. So we looked at the S&P. We looked at, and now we're at ETH. So ETH, I did the same thing. I kind of shifted the fractal back. And what's nice is it's actually shown, if we go with the fractal, because that's the only hope we got, guys. I'm telling you, this is fucking ugly. It's like to have this trend that's been going all the way since June of 22, and we've rolled over and now broken down. The breakdown on this, if we're going to do the measured move on this guy too, I don't even like to show it. It's just gross.
If he only DCA'd, Jesus.
Then you're looking at basically going back and retesting those lows from June and November of 22, and that's putting us at $1,000 ETH, which I hear a lot. There's a lot of people are calling for that. Wonder why? Charts. I'm telling you, it's like this stuff has a way of being a self-fulfilling prophecy. So we'll see if some people get liquidated trying to play the short game on this, and we have to go all the way down here before we bounce. If the fractal, God help us, fractal, please fractal, do something. The fractal is showing us turning around here and having pretty much a V-shaped recovery in late March. So if that's the case, what's interesting to me on this, laying the fractal in this way, that the top is going to be at the midline. We come back down, kind of dance along the bottom of the channel again, get a big bear trap here for about a month, and then we come back into the channel, and then we have resistance again at the midline. But this, timing wise, this has us into November. This kind of lends itself toward the idea of a lengthening cycle. So it could be a situation to where, I'm not even going to draw the line because it's going to be embarrassing if it ends up horribly opposite of that. But if that's the case, and we're bleeding over into December, maybe January of 26 before the bull is going to bull, then it could be a situation where this continues and we get up here to around 7,500 in December, January, and then maybe we break out, and it's not until next spring that we have an all-time high on ETH. So I don't know. There's lots of options on which way it could go. I don't have a crystal ball. Be cautious. Do your own research. Obviously, not financial advice. I'm buying dips. I'm trying not to burn up I blew through my dry powder. It's like not financial advice at all, but I was able to take some loans that I can afford to pay back with or without crypto, and have been utilizing that sparingly to capitalize on some of this stuff as it dips in hopes of a recovery soon. So
thank you, Toby. Thank you, Toby.
Now I got to see if I can go recover my HEX chart, but I'll have to do that after I go help my
Toby, one last thing.
Yes, sir.
In a market with no dips, buying the top, it's buying the dip.
Yeah, pretty much, dude.
Remember that. It's
I've bought all the dips for the last 5 years, Peter. You're preaching to the choir, bro. And I bought all the little peaks too.
The Lord says it, not me.
Oh man,
he tweeted about it.
Is that in the Quran?
No, our Lord.
Oh, damn, sorry. Assalamu alaikum. All right, good to see you all, everyone.
Thank you, Toby.
Oh, hey, and if anyone has any desire for me to have a different facial hair pattern, it's getting warm here. I'm going to shave the beard, but I'm going to do it in stages. So you can throw your vote in the chat. No, Hitler. I knew you were going to go straight there. You can't do that one. We're going to do either 70s Tennis Coach, which is the one that 70s Tennis Coach. We're going to do Fu Manchu, Freddie Mercury style. We'll do a goatee, Van Dyke, whatever. If you got a preference for my facial hair, throw it in the chat. Whatever. I don't know, dude. Bris, love you, bro. Good luck with these fucking idiots. Don't let them talk all over top of you.
At Toby1 Hexobi, follow
him. Thank you, guys.
X.
Good to see you. All right, catch you guys next.
Salute. Jeez. All right, that's all the time we have for today.
It should be illegal to do 30 minutes.
I know. I'm so sorry.
It is. But
that should be like
but the town sheriff didn't load his weapon. He doesn't have his handcuffs. Can't take him away. Oh.
And the charts are so depressing. What's up, Bris?
I think we can get Toby on a red notice list for this. I mean,
for the
very possible.
Personally, I think TA is a bunch of apology for men, right? Total bullcrap. However, me personally, how about that?
the blood moon.
Yeah,
it works.
Huh?
The blood moon.
That's tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, it's gonna be horrible.
But I've been tracking blood moons since 2023.
Is that a hobby?
And 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 look at it. I look. There was a blood moon in 2021, completely pulled down the markets, and I said, "All right, well, let's just look at that. That's a point of data." But now look at the blood moon that's happening today and tomorrow, dragging it down.
Yeah, I agree.
Again. And then I looked at the next time there's a blood moon, and that be in 2020, which would be considered another blow off top for crypto year.
Nice.
Speaking of dragging
blood
it down,
moon, this time, blood
Hold
moon.
on,
It's
Peter.
so bad. It's
Peter.
making your connection even worse.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, speaking of blood moons, it looks like somebody's dragging down your connection, and it looks like your video is brought to you by Skype on CNN or something. You're just really heinous looking.
Really?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Great, and you guys look.
Yeah, you look great, but the sound is a bit choppy.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Just the
I
sound.
haven't changed my setup at all. Is it really that bad? Is it not really?
It's okay. We can't see any of the acne
If that's
this way.
all you got, we can make it work.
Yeah, I don't know what to do other than what I got. I've
Just
never
model
used
it,
this restream before, though.
Oh yeah, we blame the restream for all of our fuck ups. So
Yeah. But
hey, we
Bris,
got
you
200.
look like
Oh, sorry,
5
I just
years
wanted
older.
to go
since,
into my
we
thing.
started.
We have 275 people watching right now, which is pretty crazy for a late Thursday like that.
Why?
Yeah, for the charts, obviously. Everybody wants to know if we are in Goblin Town already or
We are.
not quite.
That easy.
Never left.
Until next week.
Just say hi to the chat real quick. We got RH Max gets an honorable mention. He tried to be first in the chat, but didn't quite log it in at the right time. So we got DJ and Dougie with the When Bobs here, the official first. Salute. Got Tam Tam. We need to get Tam Tam on the show. And a Wookie on the chain. There's Raymond. We got Archie S. Fast Abdul. Fast Abdul had the purple suit on in Vegas. That was crazy. Believe in yourself.
We have to get Sandy Beach on the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm working on that too.
Come on, Sandy.
Sandy Beach with the fingernails.
Turn on your mic.
We'll set up a love seat for you and Peter to interview each other slowly and carefully.
Just us.
We got Itezas commenting on the X. Did I allow comments on the X live stream?
Obviously
I did, so that's interesting. Cult DeFi is here, believe in yourself. Hex on air in the house, sunlight. Lots of good comments. Let me try to get to these later on. Orion is here. Wild as J appears. Wow.
Woo!
Back from Vegas, on the way back from Vegas. Finbear in the house. Man, that's a live crowd. Bris, you're bringing the crowd onto the show. So
yeah.
How you doing? We've not been streaming like for years together on a show. How are you holding up with the price action and the community sentiment and everything? How are you feeling these days?
I'm okay. I'm doing all right. Of course the price action sucks, but I'm just kind of doing my time. I'm just kind of
waiting it out.
This is the storm. Crypto isn't easy. No one.
Bris, you either saw the top or you can hide the pain really, really good.
You know what it was. I'll tell you guys the truth. I sold all my altcoins, like Hex on Ethereum Fair. When that came out, I dumped all my Hex, and I think I killed Hex on that chain.
Bro.
You're that big, huh?
I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Thank goodness you didn't touch proof of work.
3K liquidity.
Right. But it actually kind of surprises me. I'm like, I don't really remember because I round tripped most of my money. Like I have more Hex now than I've ever had before, and And so I'm really not sure how I survived the bear. That's all.
Well, the thing for us is we're still up on the original Hex investment, because we've been here in that first year, but everybody else who joined later, it's absolutely brutal, and it's actually quite impressive to see so many that came later that are still around and still here and still have that hope and cope.
Yeah.
and waiting for that. We are so owed a relief pump, everybody that's putting in that work for all these years promoting Hex and PulseChain, and that's, I think we're absolutely deserve that. I just can't wait for the day when it's
It
I think
doesn't
it's
work
there's
like
karma.
that, but
There's karma in crypto.
okay.
I think it's coming,
can the devs do something?
It just feels like I really see Ethereum has like a bright future. You see all the ETFs, you see like Trump buying it. You see it's going to be part of the reserves, and it's just the price just keeps going down. And to me, that's just like the market doing market things, shaking the people out before the real big blow off top. They
Right.
you gotta really put people in despair and make them go, you know what, f this, I'm out, and make them think that they've lost all their money before you really blow the markets up.
That's right.
And exhaust all the sellers before we get some actual buyers making green candles. And we always used to say we're waiting for the capitulation candle in the previous cycles. Do you think that since this is different, you haven't seen a big freaking, are we in a time-based correction, or are we're waiting for the big red freaking death candle from everything until we can start to bounce off the bottom? How do you see it, Bris?
Who was it? It was what's his name? Mr. Wonderful. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Kevin O'Leary.
Kevin O'Leary.
Oh
he was I remember him saying like businesses have to like shut down, like companies have to collapse before we can like move forward or something like that. And then it happened to be like FTX that crashed and burned. It feels like maybe we're just kind of waiting for that one of these really big players to just come tumbling down, and then there'll be like a liquidity crunch, and that's when the price will go up. Like 2013, when the Bitcoin price went way up, that was the same month that Mount Gox collapsed, and I always attributed it to like there was a liquidity crunch when the biggest Bitcoin exchange collapsed. That's when the price went up because people were still trying to buy it. So maybe we're just waiting for like one really big player to come tumbling down.
No agree. Bitcoin is
No
so
agree.
popular right now.
No agree.
No agree. No
agree. You're wrong.
No necesito.
You're wrong.
Well, you could say Bybit was pretty big. Like that's a huge player, and the hackers apparently sold off all the Ethereum. It's part
And the
of
price barely moved.
It's during those days barely moved, but it's still part of the overall downtrend. I guess it has contributed, but I don't think a bigger one can crash like that, because that is the leverage platform where this is the replaced BitMEX from those early years. Was it BitMEX? Arthur Hayes?
Yes,
I'm not
yes,
sure.
BitMEX.
I think
Yes,
BitMEX,
it was
yeah.
BitMEX. Arthur Hayes.
That's where everybody was leverage trading. It's now on Bybit, so yeah. But Bris, are you still on that HEX PHEX train? And I remember you being a strong advocate for we should just all be PulseChain Hex only, like Peter here.
My
Are you
man.
still on that train, or have you relaxed on that narrative a little bit? There's also Sunlight here in the chat saying the same thing. We don't need the Ethereum Hex. Have you changed your worldview a little bit over the years, or not really?
No, not really. I'm still pre-hex guy.
Welcome.
I
I want to hug you so bad.
I think Richard wants as much economic energy to go into the pulse chain, and that includes money that would go into EHEX to go into the pulse chain. But with that said, I still think EHEX will probably hit all-time highs again.
Yes.
It'll probably hit $1, but the liquidity pools will be ultra thin. And so when people try to escape or exit, they're gonna hit a lot of slippage. And so I think it's probably be best to just bridge the EHEX over onto PulseChain and then convert it for something.
Yeah.
Nice,
nice shirt, fellas.
I never got mine.
Still here.
Are you implying
Yeah,
that they should exchange EHEX for PDI?
What? What? No.
Yeah, that's kind of like my take. You say EHEX and all the purchasing power, but what about all this trash, for lack of better word, that is floating around on PulseChain? Isn't that more a detractor of buying power? They're very good coins, but they're also like really silly.
I'm just saying, hey guys, if we all just started buying Bitcoin, we could all be rich together. Bitcoin could get to $1 million each if everyone just started buying Bitcoin and Bitcoin only. All right. Ethereum has vampired a bunch of energy from Bitcoin from going to $1 million already.
Well, for now, the Bitcoin maxis are vindicated and correct that all the money should have only ever gone into Bitcoin. We would all be better off, but we've also seen other days. So when Ethereum bounces back, I think then we are winning. I think it's important for
it's spaghetti code. You can't build on it.
Come back.
Personally, I like Ethereum just because you can build on it. You can do all these financial things that are pretty cool. You can't really do that with Bitcoin. But no, when Ethereum, when the markets start pumping up Ethereum, it's gonna drag up PulseChain along with it, and we're gonna be fine.
We're gonna be fine.
Wall Street has more crypto than anybody else in the world.
Yes, scary, right?
And they get access to the money printers.
So you guys, as our Lord and not Savior, has predicted that Ethereum should flip Bitcoin. When?
It should.
When flip?
It should, because Ethereum has
Bitcoin.
more utilities, that make it outshine Bitcoin.
But life is not fair.
But life is not fair.
I don't work for you.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just, let's see what happens later this year.
I mean, it's gonna bounce off the previous tops, previous highs. I mean, Bitcoin with that Ethereum, and it's just all gonna repeat the 4-year cycle again.
I think so.
Hey, so Bris, you've been around for 5 years, like the rest of us, and you look like you've aged exactly 5 years since I've last seen you, which was like maybe a year ago. But I mean, what do you have to be grateful for, and what kind of inspiration you draw from the community? What's your high points that you'd like to see come back again, or what do you appreciate about what we're doing here as a unit? And where are we in that whole evolution, the way you see it?
Well, I really like it when my wallet increases in value.
Ah, yeah. You don't give a shit about all these other lamos, like Peter.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I can understand.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
The question is, you've been here from the very, very beginning. You've seen ups and downs. You've seen an evolution of a community. What are the strongest points, the most positive points you can draw from your experience as the quintessential OG, the man who, by the way, and I didn't thank you for this before, but the man that coined the phrase, "Welcome to PulseChain, we love you." What a freaking amazing thing to come up with and run with. It is just fits perfectly in everything that I ever tweet. So please answer the first part or I'll kill you. Go ahead.
Things I'd like to see is just more people I guess streaming.
Yes.
Just we
About what?
it's pretty great. Every time I go
Right
onto
now.
YouTube, there's always like
Stream.
someone streaming, and that's been pretty awesome. We just need to get more people on board. We need more word of mouth. We just need to tell people about it, and eventually it's just gonna catch like wildfire, I guess. You just need to just people don't care about money and their own finances. You know? That's the problem.
So
People don't care about money.
What do you think the key to growth is? Some people would say direct mail. Some people would say listing on a centralized exchange. What's the Tinder that we're going to set off? What is this? What is this you're bringing up, DJ?
Well, it's your tweet about the Pano stream last night with Corey Costa, which is great. So everybody should really watch that. Shout out to Panos, who is at Strident Citizen. That's his Twitter. And he clarified the whole Maxi situation, that they're not actually, as it was rumored around, they're asking for more money to list us again, which sounded a bit, extortionate at first, but he broke down that that is not the case, and it's just that they're not asking for another fee. They're asking for the liquidity, which is apparently managed by the community or by the Hex Foundation, Crypto Coffee and them, just to add that back to the exchange, and then they would list us without another fee. So and I think Panos was trying to work that out behind the scenes, and he explained it all on that stream with Corey Costa. So that was quite interesting. Papa B, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it was eye-opening because I didn't jump in to all the fuck you money grubbing middlemen that you want us to suck your D type of exchanges that people in the community did, because they thought that we had been robbed by the delisting, and then to ask for it again was just like highway robbery, obviously. But I subscribed to that, but didn't participate in the spitting venom. But I'll tell you that I'm glad I didn't, because it was an eye-opener to see this stream and Panos like trying to fight an uphill battle to negotiate diplomatically with them, saying, hey, we had all these uphill battle type of points together, like lack of volume and we could point the finger at them for marketing or hiding us in this index or whatever it was. And then also, I didn't realize that the time didn't really line up in terms of the SEC case being announced and the delisting. They had listed on, they'd been loyal and kept it up longer than they should have, probably.
True.
Or rather than the market wanted them to. They got complaints from all these Bitcoin maxis trying to drag us down, and they ignored them. They were quite loyal in that respect. And you can say it's a third string, exchange, or, their ethics are in question or whatever. But this stream really blew all that away for me. And I'm like, oh, it's an easy explanation, right? And Panos is really trying to diplomatically get them without any further, passing the hat, blood money, collections in our community. They're actually offering, if we just stop being such, terrible people when it comes to yelling, publicly at them for being a bad exchange or something, or being unethical. So I'm like, that's fair. That's really fair. Show us then, if we pull back and we adopt Bris's philosophy of welcome to PulseChain, we love you. Wouldn't that be the perfect, just start tweeting that and let's see if they perform, if they actually just relist us for no additional cost. But there is also the question about the liquidity pool and how the PulseChain, the PulseChain Foundation was responsible for that or commands some of that. I'm more interested I'm interested in finding out more about that. But Panos does explore that too in the stream. So please watch it before you comment, and then let's all shoot in the right direction, because our performance there or what it did for the chart could be debatable, but it's a first brick, like Uniswap, right? Uniswap going away was a bit of a pisser, and then it coming back is a brick in our coming back, right after the whole court case. And then we can point to that and say, see, we're no longer blacklisted everywhere. Can you, Mr. Other, centralized exchange, or you, Mr. Other DEX, get on with the program and get us on here, because we're 250,000 people strong. We haven't gone anywhere, and Peter's got a
question.
Point. Yes.
So this exchange you're mentioning, was
Don't
it
point at
was
me.
it
Get your finger away.
Was it possible to send your money from your bank account to the exchange and then buy Pulse?
Yes.
If you're outside of the United States, I believe.
Same as OKX, which is, but only for Europeans.
Yeah, but we'll take it. Again, it's a brick. You build the bricks up, right?
Yeah.
But the problem I see here is that when an RH product was listed on some exchange, there was no volume, there was no liquidity. It went to shit.
Yes.
No one was participating in that.
Yes.
So why the fuck should the exchanges suddenly be, let's come here, Pulsicans, we want to list you so you can do basically nothing.
Well, we need a tier 1 exchange, like a Coinbase, like where the American guys can.
Yeah, and that exchange,
that's what's missing.
Has to have liquidity, because you look into Coinbase, you see the order book and it's fucking empty. Wow, what a win. Great job, Hexicans. It makes no sense.
Well, do you think there's a correlation, Peter, between that and our kind of languishing onboarding?
Would be great if I could buy any RH ticker on an exchange with euros or USD or US dollars. But if there is no one providing liquidity, like doing the order books, market making, it's kind of why?
Yeah.
Because the Fed dude, he won't do anything. We have to do it, and if we do it, then nobody is gonna provide anything, and it's a lose-lose situation, kind of.
Peter, do you remember us being listed on a centralized exchange during a bull run?
No.
Do you remember that? No, I don't either. Bris, do you remember? No. DJ?
No, later.
Okay, I believe that we sow the seeds now. We build our bricks up, and we entice tier, maybe this is a tier 3. We get tier 2s looking at it and tier 1s ignoring it until green fucking monster candles come across the entire thing, and they want to eke out that type of value too by extracting fees like any other business. And then we've got it. If we don't have any foundation,
and
then
it's marketing. They spread the news. Hey, we listed PulseChain and their socials.
Well, yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
But
I'm sick of telling onboards. I'm sick of telling onboards about bridging. That's
you
what
have
I'm
the
saying.
founder here who is also conflicting again. Last week he told us, you should contact. I don't work for you, but you should contact all the exchanges. This week's just this.
And
morning,
by the way,
give us again the "Don't suck the middleman D" speech. So, like, which way is it?
By the way, Hexologist did. He felt.
Yeah, he felt order. Just needed him to sign it.
Yeah, I mean, well, man, there is only this one little small thing you have to do.
Yeah, well.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for supporting the fucking.
Did you guys see Richard's tweet about him asking what's next? You know, what should I
Oh,
do
yeah.
next?
Mm-hmm.
I
And
just stream.
I told him he should buy a bank so he can onboard the fiat directly. And then a few hours later he made a tweet about banks screw over customers, exchanges screw over customers. We need choice, something along that line. And to me, it kind of sounded like he was thinking about starting his own bank and exchange.
Well, I happen to know for a fact that he was actually looking into this in the year, when was it, 21, for like some entity in Europe and Switzerland, but turned out to be not so easy. You know, not him personally, but through other people, and I
He
know
was
they
trying to get a
explored that
money
option.
transmitter license, I
But
think.
maybe now with more clarity, now with the SEC, there's still, I don't know, what is it now today? Seven more days for the appeal time to wait. Maybe with more clarity, he can look into this again.
Do you think he'll stream in 7 days?
Probably not.
I don't
know,
think
because
so.
the red notice. But if that goes away, then maybe he would not stream because his hand hurt. But and after that is resolved, maybe then the connection is bad. You know,
Then he misses his watches.
Peter's our resident schlep rock, in case you haven't noticed.
But
Bris, where are you on exchanges? Do we need them? Do we not need them?
I don't think we need them, but it would be nice to be like on Coinbase. That way we can, most of my onboards start at Coinbase. You know, I would have them start off with 0x Coast and Old Glory Bank, but asking someone to start a new bank account to buy some cryptos is kind of a big ask. You know, like, all right, you need to start a new bank account. What am I getting into here? But you know, yeah, it would be nice to be on something like Coinbase, I guess, but
it would
but
be.
we're not there. And you know what,
Had liquidity. And
if it's too easy, you know, to get something, probably all the gains are mostly gone.
Got a comment from Latest here. Can I ask why aren't we advertising on TV, YouTube, and all the interwebs?
Costs money.
Well, we have done that. We've done. There have been like Crypto Heartbeat has been onboarded by watching
at least one person
a late night TV commercial on some local station. I don't know, on cable.
And he
So
put
we
down
have-
the heroin syringe and got right into the community.
Exactly. And,
Yeah, 3 a.m. TV. Do you want to be rich? Well, come over here. It's
And he was like,
Flex Seal
"Yeah."
and PulseChain.
So that can work, but we're what the thing now is postcards, obviously. So we're raising funds.
There
to
is one
send-
thing I wanted to touch, by the way. I think Richard should. How to say it? I think Richard should stream as soon as possible because he tries to express very difficult ideas via tweets, and that doesn't work. Like, I think he's good at explaining himself over 2-hour period on stream. That's great, but not through tweets. It just doesn't work. He's not Elon Musk. He cannot tweet one thing and people would be.
You know, I think Richard knows that 2025 is going to be a big year, hence why he cut the inflation off of Hex and Ink. You know, it was like he's like preparing.
I could understand Ink, but the Hex, to cut the inflation and then tweet something like, "Oh, what's the best sales pitch for my products? What do you guys think?" I mean, Hex had one, right? It was pretty good, by the way.
Now it's just slightly better.
It's just a little bit. teeny tiny bit worse.
Practically Bitcoin. Come on, guys. But this
That's
is.
why
I think this
I
is
think he
great.
should stop tweeting until he can fucking go on a stream.
I
Because
think Hex having its inflation cut off is great because I think it shows forethought on like if Hex goes to like $1 each, there's people out there that are making like 1,000,000 Hex every month.
Yes.
Right? Because they have so many T-shirts and they're making and there's other people
that
making
means they have long
way
strings.
more than that. And so how do you
They have lots of Hex.
how do you kind of like cut these guys off so they're not just dumping $1,000,000 a month on during the bull market? And he cut the inflation away.
What?
And
How
so
can they dump if they have long stakes? Fuck!
They don't have long
Explain this
stakes.
to me.
They're
It makes no
monthly
sense.
rolling. They're
there's a
monthly
lot of
rolling.
30-day stakers out there.
But they're rolling 200 million Hex or something.
Yeah, the guys that have got like 300 million Hex
Yeah,
and
it's
they're
like 4
rolling it for
guys that fuck
30
it up
days.
for all of
It's
us.
no one has that many Hex.
Brizology does.
All right. Wildest
I
J
do.
just
I
dropped the
do.
bombshell here in the chat. So it's not just the 20-day appeal time, she says.
Ah.
There's another 60 days.
No, I think
For-
maybe.
Inputs.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, SJ, but you're talking about the 20 days for rejiggering their complaint versus 60 days to appeal the verdict. Is that
Getting
correct?
jiggy with it.
Oh, yeah.
I think those lawyers that are, reassessing their arguments, I think they took the $50,000 buyout and they were gone.
For what?
Could be.
Oh, you mean from Elon cutting him away?
Yeah, the SEC, they're giving all the lawyers $50,000 buyouts to. Thank you, HexJet7. Someone said it. Thank you.
It's comment on the X again. It's freaking me out today, these X comments. Here's another one from Hex Wizard.
Is that you, Briz? That you're in the chat under that nom de plume, just
ego. Great
congratulating
point,
yourself?
Briz.
Like this guy knows what he's talking about.
Man, so
This guy's
including
awesome.
I used to do that
X,
too.
we have 500 people watching us live right now, which is absolutely
Wow.
crazy.
Why?
I wanted to talk about before we go, because we're already an hour in. This unbelievable time flies. We always try to keep this to an hour max.
Well, the first 30
Tonight-
minutes didn't count, right?
Yeah, exactly. That was like too depressing. Vegas, Briz, you've been in Vegas. What has been the vibe, the sentiment this year? I want to say, so a wild SJ, I know she's in the chat, she's listening. Your media team, because during the last conference, I was looking all this time because I couldn't go for like pictures and somebody had clips. Was there a common hashtag? So it was actually very hard to try and get up to speed with what was happening in Vegas, but there are some pictures emerging now after the fact. So I missed a little bit that FOMO feeling of not being able to go and then see everybody else have a good time. But Briz, you are on some of the pictures. What was the vibe, the sentiment at the conference? Was it good?
Was it
Was
sad?
it busy?
It felt really positive.
Nice.
Was it
Everyone had smiles on. It was really cool meeting a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
I felt like a tiny bit of a celebrity. Someone's like, hey, can I get a picture with you? I'm like, okay, sure. And
Kissing babies.
kissing babies, shaking hands. But no, it was great. Everyone was in a really good mood, yeah, I had a really good time.
I have some pictures here. There is from Black Hexagon. She posted. There was a shot with all the ladies here. So you see, we've got the women in PulseChain land. That's what's going on. Can you guys see this? Yeah, it's sharing. So that's a nice picture. And then what was this? The shitcoin panel. With the shout out to B
Dollar
Roots
cost crypto.
on the chat, DCC on the chat, Vets
Life
and
coach Jesus.
Crypto. is here. That was cool. Probably this is like complaining, like he wants a refund, or what is going
What is that?
What is going on here?
Say, where's my ticket? What do
Where's
you
my,
mean I got
where's my
ticket?
lunch?
This is the minority speaker of the house.
I was promised the lunch bag. Where is it?
Where's the gabagoo?
There must be a mistake. I'm not a Mexican.
I think this is the backside of Crispy Man. Could be with
There's Maddie.
the Captain RG3 and Maddie now going all cowboy hat as of late. So that is cool.
Even inside.
And then I think this is the picture where you are at with, you see Fast Abdul here, Jesus, with the purple suit
Crypto
on.
Sloth.
Sloth is here, exactly. Bris in the middle. Who is this guy here? The old timer.
I forget.
Prospector 49er.
Well, he has RG's height, so
Prospector, yes.
He has RG's height. That's funny.
And Nuclear Herbs, obviously. I'm being mean to these. And then there was Coach X.
I met him for a brief second in the hallway.
Okay, doing the twerking at the golf tournament on the final days.
Yay!
Crispy Man here. He broke the internet with this meme. We've seen a lot of Crispy Man during the weekend. But no, you say it was positive, it was good vibes, and everybody had a great time. So you've just been one day, or
that's amazing.
I just went overnight. You know, I drove out there like early in the morning, and then I just stayed for one day, and then I drove back home the very next day. And
you in LA then?
Yeah, I'm in Orange County.
Oh right, that's right. I forgot. We're cousins. Nice.
Yeah. So,
but not affected by the wildfires, I hope. Is that all
Nope.
cleaned up yet,
No.
or is that still a mess?
Orange County's the Republicans.
That's
They
quite
get
north
north
of me. Yeah, I'm in the Republican county of California, but all the fires were pretty north of me, and so I did not get any hail yesterday.
The hail in Vegas.
But it has been raining. It has been raining the last couple of days.
Wow.
So
Oh, there's nothing like a good Southern California flood.
yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So Avalon is tuning in late. He missed the TA with Toby.
I want
So
the
you
big
see-
arrows.
Rewind.
Rewind.
We're
Rewind.
confusing the communita.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, here we are.
That's what you get in a downtrend. Toby has to go to work. No TA at the end of the show. So yeah.
So just rewind if you want the good news about that TA there.
Well, why are you calling it good news?
It's because red is the color of Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day.
But fear not, if you are in gold, for example, you have an absolute green.
Oh, Peter
dildo
Schiff
candle
is
day. Peter Schiff. Let me.
Peter Schiff is saying the floor is lava.
It's the last screen.
I think he's hard.
Today.
He's very hard.
I mean, look at this. This is the gold chart. So it's absolutely, that's
all-time highs.
That's like a crypto candle. The gold guys must be having fireworks today or some kind of celebration.
In gold, you could sell the top. Like how much long ago?
I think it's now at $2,988. So I think 3,000 should be a. How do we say?
When was the last time it was at that price?
Never. It's all-time high.
It's all-time high.
All-time highs.
Really?
This has
Yeah,
been. If
Fort
you
Knox
zoom out,
gold.
it's a great chart. It's up and to the right for 20 years.
So DJ, what do you think the chances of we went to Fort Knox, it was huge, everything is there, and now somebody gave me the idea it doesn't cost the taxpayers anything. We're gonna just sell a lot of this stuff and buy Bitcoin.
But I know what would happen to the price of gold if that were to be true.
Yeah, right?
Tank.
Yes. Speaking of tanks, the U.S. hasn't given Germany back their gold bullion for like 25 years after they asked for it. That's hilarious to me. Switzerland and
But
Germany.
those gold bars have the thing on it.
No, these are all in Switzerland.
They don't have the thing on them. No.
Just
they've been re-smelted.
Fairies brought it during the
It was bad gold. It was
they
bad,
don't have
bad gold.
Yeah, some are filled with
They needed
tungsten.
the
The other ones are filled
spanking.
with my people's teeth. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
All right, but there you go. Bris says has been a good gathering in Vegas, and you want to see more streamers. So I think the community is still there, is still intact. We're still, hugging it out on the Twitters, and we have our infighting, and then there are moments. It's like Peter said, green candles. That's what we need to get everybody back on the same page. I guess that's what's needed, and yeah, ideally. Richard streaming. Do you see this year of him coming back? Do you think that's possible? Or
I think so. I think he'll probably come back when the prices start turning back.
Yeah.
And I think he's preparing for high prices. Like I said, that's why I believe he shut off the inflation on Ink and Hex, is that he's expecting high prices. So I think we should not expect anything, but hope for the best.
That's a good word. That's a good statement.
Hey, Briz, can you give us a soundbite? Give us a very clear and supportive welcome to PulseChain. We love you, from the guy who actually commented.
Welcome to PulseChain. We love you.
Outro.